One of the many stories of heartbreak surrounding coronavirus. A family in Kentucky say they were absolutely devastated when they learned their grandmother tested positive for COVID-19. And doctors told them you can't see her at all, as we've been hearing, because it's so contagious. Mike Galanos is with me. Mike, you spoke with that family, and I can't imagine not only suffering this loss or realizing it, but you can't touch or see your family members. Can't touch them,
exactly.
You can see them, but no communication.
So heartbreaking, Susan. In that conversation, it was emotional because you put yourself and your family in that position to not be able to say goodbye. And the heartbreak there is that your family member would die alone. But this resilient family found a way to have a special goodbye. And now they're helping other families do the same.
When Debbie and Lacey Taylor took Keiko Newts to the hospital for breathing problems, they didn't know that just days later, they would be saying goodbye like this.
I hope it will be the most gut-wrenching thing I've ever felt. I hope I never feel anything like this again.
The 87-year-old tested positive for COVID-19, which means her family would not be allowed to hold her hand in her final moments.
Being the oldest of my 7 siblings, it was also heartbreaking for me, for them. There was just nothing I could do. And I kept feeling like, even as the oldest sibling, that I should go there.
But it was even harder for me to know that she knew we weren't going to be there, that she could feel that we weren't there.
Then Lacey got an idea. She would give the nurse a laptop preloaded with an app called House Party. So this would allow the family to drop in on Keiko without her having to physically open the app. And from that point on, Grandma would never be alone.
She waved and smiled at the great-grandbabies especially, right? We'd get on there and talk to her, and she'd be like, oh, hi. You put one of those babies on there, and all of a sudden it's, it gave us a little bit of hope.
And Lacey says her grandmother could feel the love through the computer, and that's why she held on for a couple of days to let her family say their goodbyes.
With the blessing of the app, and we did feel like we were there. We did. I don't know how to tell you that connection, if you were on a scale of 1 to 100, it was about a 99.
As the end was nearing, Debbie says she was moved to see a nurse was there, holding her mom's hand, standing in for the entire family.
So grateful, and so grateful to those nurses, and, just realizing that those nurses, how many hands are they going to hold over the next however long this goes on.
And as Keiko took her final breath, she was surrounded by family, and they sent her off with her favorite song.
We actually played the song Amazing Grace. And I'm not a singer, but I sang it to her.
And when it was time for the funeral, the coronavirus would deliver another heartache.
To social distance during a funeral, it just was very surreal. I mean, we stood 6 feet apart.
It doesn't diminish their life at all. It's maybe it's not the goodbye we wanted, but it's the one we have.
Because of how my mom raised all of us. And, we like a good challenge. And there was a great satisfaction that, coronavirus, you didn't get the best of us. You might have took our mom, but you didn't get the best of us. We wanted to be with her, and by God's blessing, it happened.
And Susan, in that fighting spirit, the family has developed the Keiko Newts Amazing Grace Foundation. The goal is to collect old but working iPads and tablets so other families going through tragedy like this can say a special goodbye. And if you want to help, it's KeikoNewtsAmazingGrace.org. You can give. There's a GoFundMe page as well. What an awesome way to honor a special mom, grandma, and great-grandma in Keiko. Back to you.
And saying we won't let this virus beat us, and we're able to somehow show their love without physically seeing each other, but still heartbreaking. Mike, thank you for that report, bringing that to us.